The way the Epstein files are being released is not an accident. It's actually a classic misinformation technique that people in power use when they can't avoid a scandal anymore. It's called a limited hangout, and it comes directly from the CIA. The idea is that when you can't avoid the scandal anymore, those in power will admit to some of the wrongdoing, while hiding or obscuring the most damaging facts in order to protect the real criminals. According to former CIA officer Victor Marchetti, the limited hangout is used when the veil of secrecy is shredded, and they can no longer rely on a cover story. So instead, they offer a piece of the truth, and they hope that the public will be so intrigued and distracted that they won't keep digging any further. That's why only 2% of the Epstein files have been released so far. But in that 2%, they've managed to point fingers at all sorts of celebrities and politicians and high-profile people while trying to obscure Trump's role in all of it. And as Ro Khanna stated recently, they're trying to intentionally muddy the waters about who was included in an email and who was an actual predator. They'll even try to include outright lies wrapped within the truth, hoping that the obvious lies get discovered, which then discredits the entire thing. Like how the DOJ just recently stated in a letter that Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley are also a part of the Epstein files, even though they died way before Epstein was even operating. And this isn't a new technique. Nixon pioneered this technique when he was trying to cover up the Watergate scandal. And then Clinton used it when he was trying to cover up his affair with Monica Lewinsky. Enron used it to try to cover up their financial crimes, and the Catholic Church even used it when they're trying to protect pedophiles inside the church. And now Trump is doing it with the Epstein files. And we have to understand that what files are being released is being done so strategically in order to distract us and paint a certain narrative, and pointing fingers at everybody except for the main criminals at the top. It's important to note that in all the past times that this tactic was used, the truth did eventually come out, because stories and lived experiences don't just die, but we have to make sure that they stay alive. And we do that by keeping the pressure on and demanding the release of all the files, unredacted, for all of us to see. Because what they want is for you to think that this is some massive problem that no one can ever do anything about because it runs so deep. But the reality is there are people who are responsible. There are people who should be held accountable. And that's Trump, Pam Bondi, and everybody who's running cover for him. So if you want to learn more about this technique and how we can actually start organizing against it, then come check out the latest issue of our Conscious Citizens Dispatch. You can get access to that along with an entire directory of organizing resources over at the Conscious Citizens. And if you like this project and you want to help us keep it going, then we'd really appreciate it if you can become a paid member for as little as $2 a month.